What up, y'all? Welcome back to Lights, Camera, and Action. I just came across this story. Apparently, it's about a woman that's on a Carnival cruise ship. She's on a boat. Apparently, they're about to go on some sort of excursion. She doesn't have a wristband. Apparently, they needed wristbands for confirmation that you paid for the excursion. And what I saw was that she was getting dragged off the boat. So it seemed pretty crazy, seemed pretty wild. But I figured we go ahead and watch this and check it out together. So let's get to it.
Always working. I'm always working. And that's because consumer stories are around us every day. And on vacation, I experienced a kerfuffle that immediately started me
Kerfuffle. I didn't know people still use that word.
Investigating. And of course, you know, I got video. There are facts that are without question. The earth is round. The sun rises in the east. And this woman is determined. For almost an hour, the ferry operator asked her to get off the boat.
An hour? They were sitting in that boat for an hour? Fam, you know how hot it is out there? Oh, heck no.
But she would not move.
We have to go.
What the heck is wrong?
All here bought a ticket for an excursion to a private Bahamian.
And they've been asking you for an hour? What?
Island on the Carnival Cruise Line's app, and were later given tickets on the ship. On the day of the excursion, Carnival agents were supposed to take our tickets, ask us to sign a waiver, and give each of us a wristband before boarding the ferry.
Everybody got wristbands. Don't have no wristband.
That's right. This woman had no wristband, and the third-party ferry operator said, no wristband, no go. But the woman insisted she had indeed paid. After more than 30 minutes, the other passengers, all hot and hungry, began to turn on her.
Man, come on, man. Get on, man.
Finally, an officer tried to convince her to get off the boat and seek reimbursement from Carnival. She refused. Another officer was called, and
how hard is that? If you don't have the wristband, look, if you pay and you have confirmation of that payment, i.e. being the wristband, if you don't have it's not that difficult. You could go on another excursion. You could go on this excursion another day. It's not that serious. It's never that serious. Like, she's just being difficult just to be difficult. I honestly, I do not understand people like that. I do not understand people like that. Yes, if you wanted to go on an excursion, you had that plan for the day or whatever, I can understand how that could be inconvenience if you really paid. But something tells me she did not pay because she does not have a wristband. So I can understand you being let down if you had paid, you're ready to do this, especially I think she's there with her son and everything. But yo, it's not that hard to just go to this Carnival cruise ship office, show them payment of the excursion, and then letting you on the next excursion or the next day or whatever. It's not that deep. The fact that you were just riding this thing out tells me that you didn't pay for jack. Okay? That's what it says to me. You didn't pay for jack. And you think niggas is stupid. That's what it says to me. But
clearly meant business. But the passenger insisted Carnival had proof of payment. She's now threatening a lawsuit against the cruise line. Leslie Silva is a principal at McCall, Sweeney and Silva.
So you're a principal doing this? What if your kids acted like this at school? What kind of message are you sending to the kids? This is how you should be acting? This is how you to be accountable? What are you doing?
When you buy the ticket and you have entered into a contractual agreement with the cruise line, are you in most cases signing away your right to a jury trial?
You are, unless it's in an extreme case of a bodily injury, then you are bound to go to arbitration with them.
I pulled up Carnival Cruise Line's 20-page terms and conditions statement. It mentions the word arbitration 19 times. But the question remains, Had this woman actually bought a ticket, signed the waiver, and not been given a wristband?
No.
I asked Carnival those very questions, and a spokesman replied, "It is important to recognize there is more than meets the eye to every story, but given the threat of legal action, we will defer further comment." As for that passenger, she still refused to leave even after the female officer dragged her off the bench.
You want to be like a child and sit on the floor?
No, I want to be like an adult who paid my money.
Finally, after almost an hour, the officers actually picked her up and carried her off the boat.
That is insane.
A combative conclusion that certainly was no carnival for any of
She's just hanging there, just dead weight.
the parties involved.
Not even like untry. Just like,
No carnival, y'all. No carnival. Now, I found that woman, of course. You know I looked for her. I found her later. She told me that Carnival gave her a refund for the excursion. Carnival neither confirms nor denies that.
why is she lying? Why is she lying? You know, Carnival ain't giving no refund. Come on, son. What you think we dumb? Girl, you know Carnival ain't give her no refund. To give her a refund, that means she would have had to pay. And she ain't pay. You know she ain't pay. Come on.
If you're unhappy about your cruise experience, you should first contact their guest services department. And if you can't get a resolution there, you can contact the Consumer Affairs and Dispute Resolution Services of the Federal Maritime Commission. I have a link in the body of this story on our website, WHEC.com.
So there's actually a TikTok that actually has a slightly longer video that actually shows a little bit more detail. So let's check this out.
But if you've ever been on a cruise, you know the excursions can be chaotic. So buckle up. So we booked an excursion.
Exactly. Excursions can be chaotic. So you don't need to add more chaos to the situation by purchasing a ticket and then just like not getting off the boat. Look, you were the only one that did not have a wristband. You see all those people on the boat, you were the only one that didn't have a wristband. You expect me to believe? Come on.
Excursion through Carnival Glory to get on a ferry to go over to the Blue Lagoon Beach. We stood over an hour in line waiting on the ferry to get here. Finally, when we got on, it went crazy. There's a family of 3 that apparently didn't get the wristbands that is required to go to the beach. No wristband, you don't get off of the boat at the dock. Just that simple. But the mom,
Really
she was not having it. She was determined that she was not getting off of this boat. Security came, asked her to leave, and she just kept saying, "I'm not getting off of the boat." Over and over again.
See, that's her son. He looks pissed the F off, as I would be. He looks so mad and he looks embarrassed. He looks pissed off. But he also looks like this happens all the time. And so to me, that face he's making right now, to me, that says, Mom, here too? Like, here? Like, this is supposed to be a time for us to just chill. Here? You got to do it here? Come on. That's what that look says to me.
Her little boy was begging her to get off of the boat. And then the little boy just walked away and broke down and started.
It's like someone else pointed out a really good point. He has a wristband, but it's green. The person on the boat has a wristband that's orange or red. Which for me lends more to the idea that this lady just full of crap. That she ain't buying no wrist. Come on. Like, it's bad if the Carnival Cruise Line has to carry your butt out the boat. We gotta carry you out the boat, and then you're just gonna lay there just off the freaking
Started crying.
Come on.
And to make it worse, it was very hot. Like I can't breathe hot. And one lady started having an asthma attack.
That's insane.
At this point, everyone's sweating, waiting, and watching this unfold. Finally, a security guard shows up that can actually lift her. And I kid you not, she lifts her up and carries her off of the boat.
Yo,
I've seen a lot on cruises, but this right here was the next level. The moral.
Your face. No, I ain't getting off this boat. No, I ain't doing that.
Of the story is,
look,
when you go on a cruise excursion, get your wristband. Don't fight security, and maybe don't ruin your kids' vacation.
Yeah, I'd be so pissed.
How embarrassing is this for your child?
That is so embarrassing.
Have y'all ever?
The kid got off the boat. The kid understood that no wristband, no excursion. Is that the kid understood that? Why can't you not understand that? That is so sad. That is so. I'd be so pissed. Yo, if I went on a vacation and my mom did, I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. I would be pissed.
Experience drama like this on Carnival Glory
now
for an excursion.
I need to get up and walk out.
Let me know in the comments.
Yo, that lady's off the chain. Off the freaking chain. That's sad. It should not take all that for you to just get out the boat. Then it shouldn't have to literally pick you up and drag you out the boat. Well, you know you didn't pay. You know you didn't pay. You know you didn't pay. Like, is it that obvious? It's obvious to me that she didn't pay. The miscolored wristband. You're the only one. Come on. So what do y'all think about this? Was this wild or crazy to y'all? Or was this just like another day on vacation of what you see people do? I haven't seen anybody do anything like this on vacation in a long time. I thought that was absolutely insane. But drop a like and a comment. What did y'all think about this? And also, do y'all believe it? Do y'all think she really paid for this ticket? I don't. I just think she's just trying to get a free excursion. But I thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.